3 things you must do to be a good team captain and the 2 things you must never do. Florida State, like, what did make me a good leader? So I actually got the time to reflect on my leadership journey on Florida State and what I did personally, and how I implemented it. I think the most important thing that any leader can do is, number one, you got to build trust. I'll build a bridge of trust so strong that it can bear the weight of truth. Because one, no one cares what you know until they know that you care. So building trust is probably the most important thing any leader can do to start. And then you break down, okay, so how do you build trust? The number one thing I think you can do to build trust is, number one, connection. I think I was really good at developing intentional relationships with all my teammates. And we all came from different backgrounds. And no, I wasn't best friends with every single one of my teammates, but I personally knew and took the time to get to know my teammates, whether they were the best player on the team or whether they were never going to see a game, or whether they were the bullpen catcher or even our managers, stuff like that. So really took the time to do that, to build that connection. So now, and then the second thing is communication. You got to teach kids how to communicate to one another, timing and tone, nonverbal communication, knowing that everyone's needs on the team are different. You reach every person in a different way. And that comes back to the connection. You got to connect off the field to know how to connect on the field. One of the things I continuously asked myself when adversity hit me, just in a game sense, with softball failing so much, it really is a game of failure. I continuously, when I felt the weight of the world, I just kept asking myself, Ellie, what does your team need from you this pitch? What does your team need from you right now? Just consistently showing up every day, practice, competition, classroom, weight room, regardless of how I feel. Predictability builds trust. So I think my teammates always knew that they could count on me. I think my coaches always knew that at the end of the day, like, I was going to show up and, just give my all to the team every day. Second thing that leaders or a good team captain must always do, to me, is be extreme. That means, to me, training harder than anyone else. I took pride in, I always ran the fastest mile. I always passed my conditioning test. I was always trying to, get stronger in the weight room, working hard, giving a little bit more all the time, going all out all the time in practice, whether it was base running, whether it was defense hitting, just, bringing that energy, being an energy giver, day in and day out, and trying to share that with my team. I would want captains to know, like, what's your mission? Yeah, your team has a mission. What's your mission? What are your core principles? So your team's got core principles. What are your core principles? And are you living on those and reflecting on those? Like, having a weekly process, having a weekly well, better, how as a leader, like, reflecting on your mission and your principles. Like, are you living your mission, your principles, your core values? What are you doing well? Where do you need to be better? And then how are you going to be better? And reflecting on that weekly, just to stay on top of those things. Then the third thing that captains must always do, I think, is live the culture and the standard the coaching staff has created. You live it, you love it, and then you protect that culture. I was just always trying to protect the culture. And
so I think we're to this, the 2 things you shouldn't do if you're a captain.
The 2 things you shouldn't do as a team captain. Okay. Number 1, blaming, complaining, being defensive. Okay. You're not going to get it right all the time. There were times I was not perfect, but you got to own it. Just having that positive perspective, not complaining. If Ellie complains, everyone else is going to follow suit. They're going to be like, yeah, you're right. I trusted my coaches, never said a bad word about my coaches behind the back. I didn't talk bad about my teammates. I was very careful about things like that. No blaming, no complaining. And then, my coaches were hard on me when things weren't going well. It was, Ellie, take care of it. Ellie, why is this happening? Ellie, do this. And it wasn't get defensive. It was like, you're right. I'm the captain. Ellie, go take care of it. Figure it out. And checking my ego at the door. So no ego. So low ego, high character. The second thing you must never do is have an ego. And that comes with trusting your coach's word, buying into, the team culture, buying into what your coaches are telling you, putting your feelings, your opinions, your actions above what is best for the team. I didn't always agree with the coaches, but it's like, what's best for the team. Trusted my coaching staff so much. I knew it was what was best for the team at the end of the day. So thinking big picture, and then thinking that being the team captain gives you some type of hierarchy over everyone else. It does not.